Hey there, friends, and welcome back to another 3-Minute Thoughts. My name is Derek, and in the next 3 minutes, we're going to take a look at Matthew chapter 24. These next 3 minutes are going to be about slowing down, kind of catching up pace with what the Bible says, taking one chapter of the New Testament, not about belief, but rather about a space to engage in something beyond our ability to understand. Matthew chapter 24 begins with Jesus leaving the temple. His disciples point out the massive stones and stunning architecture. Jesus responds by predicting its destruction in the coming days, something that would have sounded impossible at the time. Even more impossible is their destruction and then rebuild in such a short timeline. The comment triggers a flood of questions. When will this happen? What will be the sign? How will we know the end is near? And Jesus doesn't give them a calendar. He doesn't add an event to their planners. Instead, he talks about patterns. He talks about things like wars, disasters, betrayal, false teachers, fear spreading, love growing cold. None of that sounds super exotic. None of it sounds world-altering. It actually sounds all too familiar. Jesus warns them not to be easily panicked by loud voices claiming secret knowledge. Not every crisis, he says, means the end of the world has arrived, but these crises will come. I think that's the important part we need to understand. The crisis doesn't mean that the end is here. It means that these are parts of the process that lead us toward that end. Jesus speaks about things like persecution and even endurance. He talks about faith being tested under pressure. He frames faithfulness not as prediction, but rather as persistence. Faith isn't about knowing what's going to happen, but persisting while things happen. And then he shifts into some pretty vivid imagery. Darkened skies, cosmic upheaval, the Son of Man coming with power. The language is dramatic, to say the least. It's drawn from ancient prophetic traditions that used big symbols to describe God stepping into history. What's pretty striking is where Jesus lands. He compares the future to a homeowner staying alert, or servants doing their work while the master is away. The point isn't decoding timelines. It's living awake. It's about paying attention. It's about staying rooted in a reality that might not always go caught. Jesus is telling us that it's one thing to say you believe, but it's another thing to live like you believe. It's one thing to say, yeah, Jesus will come back one day. It's another thing to live as if today might very well be that day. My own personal mission statement for years has been living for eternity today. The idea that I want today to be the beginning of my best life in Jesus, meaning my transition into his forever plan. Hey friends, that's all we've got time for today. Thanks for taking these 3 minutes with me. We'll see you again tomorrow. Be well.